With the recent celebrity hacking scandal, more emphasis is being placed on the security of your mobile device. As you recall, last year, InfoWars brought you the reports about how the Seattle Police Department was being forced to shut down their Wi-Fi spy grid after a privacy outcry. Now, as technology advances, it's becoming easier to detect these interceptor stations, these places where these guys can siphon off your cell phone data. But we don't always know who's behind them. To speak more about this, we have Buzz Bruner, the director of ESD Applications. Thank you for joining us, Buzz.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell us a little bit about your company, about your organization, and also how you guys came to discover these interceptor towers.
Okay. ESD America is an 11-year-old company that is the world's largest manufacturer of secure cellular phones. We build the phones in America that have the highest level of security, but also what they do is they have the ability to detect when your cell signal is being diverted to an interceptor tower prior to going to a network tower, which is what we have now been able to put the map up and show where a few of these mobile towers are.
And how did you guys come across these?
Well, what we did is we asked our CP500 cryptophone owners, we asked them that whenever they are alerted, the phone will alert you if your signal is being diverted to a non-network tower, which is an interceptor device. Mm-hmm. We asked them to notice the location where they are and let us know the time and date when they saw this notice, which is what has created the ability for us to put this awareness in place. The device itself actually has the ability, as I said, to detect when a cell phone signal, which normally would go to one of the closest network tower, is forced down to 2G and goes to a non-network tower before, as I said, being bounced to a network tower. There's where the interception takes place. Please understand, too, that towers are not 150-foot high steel structures. An interceptor tower is virtually the size of a briefcase, and they are all mobile. They are extremely sophisticated devices, but they are also now nominally easily available for people who want to have the ability to intercept cell calls.
So you say they're very portable and also, I guess, consumer level, I guess, in a sense. How would somebody get an interceptor box? Where are these things coming from?
Well, if you know some people, and we don't tell people where they can get them. There's software there's open source software that's available on the market. Actually, I've seen them on Alibaba websites to buy them from certain Asian countries.
We don't have to go into specifics. I'm just wondering, where would somebody, how are these things getting out on the streets? Who's behind this? Have you guys been able to track down any particular person or group who's behind these boxes?
Well, no. We have the ability to detect that the signals are being diverted to non-network towers, okay? The people that divert these signals range from government, law enforcement, which are the good guys trying to listen to the bad guys to protect us. And also they range from the bad guys trying to listen to the good guys, which are bad guys that are trying to intercept industrial or corporate high-value information, for their economic gains or advantages. Mm-hmm. So there are people that, will go to virtual any length to steal high-value information. And then there's governments around the world also that are looking to have a lot of information from a lot of different sources that they utilize in their global situations.
Right. Now, as far as, you said that being used by governments, law enforcement, there's a CBS article where they talked to a former FBI agent, and he said that he doubted that some of the more recent interceptor boxes, maybe that you guys discovered, he doubted that those were being used by law enforcement because he said law enforcement needed proper warrants and had to go through the proper channels and all of that. Would you agree with that statement, or do you have some other point of view?
No, I would agree with that. Law enforcement, government law enforcement are required to have warrants to use the boxes. And they may have at those particular locations had certain warrants. It may have been, law enforcement, but it also may have been bad guys looking to access information from, corporate information. Corporate espionage is so prevalent; it's incredible that corporate enterprises spend millions of dollars to protect their IT systems and make sure that their online communications are secure.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just get on unsecure cell phones and talk about high-value information that they secure online.
Right.
And bad guys take the path of least resistance. They know that the internet systems are being highly protected, and intercepting cell calls is very easy. It's basically done with impunity. I can be a half a mile away from a gentleman on that's talking on a cell phone. I can be gathering his information, and he would never know that I was, in that particular capability.
Now, as far as the information gathered, what can they get? Can they get real-time phone conversations, pictures, text messages? What all can they retrieve?
Well, basically, they can. The voice communications is what the average interceptor would do. He'd listen for voice information, just like you're putting a bug in a conference room.
Mm-hmm.
The more sophisticated towers and the more sophisticated software can actually, when it fools your phone into thinking that it is the real cell tower, they have the ability on occasion to download programs and change the firmware of your cell phone and actually put malicious spyware on your cell phone, and you would never know it. They'd actually take control of the phone. They can actually turn on your microphone, without you knowing it. They can do a lot of different things by controlling the little computer that you have in your hand that you use to talk on.
And you made a very interesting statement, because a lot of people think it's a conspiracy theory, so to speak, think that somebody can hack into your phone and, just as you said, turn on your microphone and listen to what you're saying. But you're saying that is, in fact, factual and happening?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The only real, truly secure way to secure your phone, like if you're in a conference room and you're in a meeting, is for everybody to remove the batteries from their phones. Mm-hmm. Turning your phone off does not turn your phone off. On-off buttons are just soft switches. They're not hard switches. The only way to truly secure your phone is to take the battery out of it.
Right. Now, I was reading some comments, reading the interview with your CEO, Goldsmith, and he was talking about how some of these things were discovered around military bases, and that was very troubling to me.
Well, yes, and we're not sure exactly who was the owner or who was operating that particular tower. Mm-hmm. We do know that we have countries around this globe that are not so friendly to America.
Right.
There are a lot of operatives from other countries that are in this country specifically to gather information. Mm-hmm. They do it in multiple ways. They can take a regular laptop here in America. They can get a cell card here in America, and they can get sophisticated software downloaded to them here in America, and they have an instant cellular interceptor.
As we come to our end, I'm sorry to cut you off, we're running a little low on time. Just tell us what else you think is the most important issue concerning this, and also how people can find your technology.
Well, the best thing to remember is if you are speaking of anything that is of high value, is don't say it on a cell phone. Assume that it's being listened to. That's the lifestyle change for security that protects people. Secondly, our CP500. If you take a CP500 and you call another CP500, that information, that voice information, the text information, cannot be cracked. It is world-class technology. That the methodology is amazing. You can reach us at esdcryptophone.com, and you can speak with any of us to discuss the utilization. The biggest part of the CP500 is also the fact that it will detect if your cell signal is being diverted to a non-network tower. That is one of the most powerful things that the CP500 does.
All right, Buzz Bruner, Director of ESD Applications, thank you for your time, sir.
Chicardi, thank you very much, sir. Have a good day.
You too. And if you would like another way to protect your cell phone information, stop by the InfoWars shop and pick up a cell phone pouch. The Block It Pocket and others protect your cell phone information when you're not using it. Well, that's it for this edition of the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm your host, Jakari Jackson, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the InfoWar. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the InfoWar to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.